Bro, you only have 2. You should probably save them for the harder ones.
You have a hard on?
Bro, no. A harder challenge.
Jonathan, I am 600 pounds. Getting out of my bed is worth using one of my skips.
Fine. Next challenge. Do a jumping jack.
How many?
Just 1.
Jonathan, I would again like to use my last pass for this.
Oh my, how fat are you?
Jonathan, just do a challenge that isn't impossible for me.
Bruh, you have no more passes left. That was your last one, so now you can't back out. And if you do, then I'll leak your IP.
Alright, let's do it.
Go get a plastic bag.
Okay.
Now tie it around your head.
Okay.
You want me to give you head?
This is the very last time
Squidward wants to give me head.
Do the challenge or I'll leak your IP.
Okay.
Is it on your head?
Yes, sir. You're tight. Sorry, Jonathan. Alright, it's tight.
Now wait.
How long?
I don't know, like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Wait, if there's a bag over your head, how can you see your phone and text me?
Because I poked eyes in the bag.
Oh my god, that won't work. Then the air will get out. Get another bag.
That was my last bag.
Bruh, next challenge. Do you have any pets?
Yeah, a pet monkey.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Never mind.
What?
I was going to tell you to feed the pet something poisonous, but I like monkeys.
Oh.
Next challenge.
Monkey balls.
No. Next challenge, go to the bathroom.
You mean the place where I eat food?
Yes.
Okay.
Turn off the lights.
Okay.
Say Bloody Mary 3 times.
Bloody Harry?
Mary.
Harry.
Mary.
Okay, I called Bloody Harry. He's chill.
Bruh, go to your roof.
Okay.
Jump off.
I can't jump.
Why not?
I don't have legs, I can't jump. Jonathan.
That's it. You have trolled me for the last time. I'm leaking your IP.
Yo, chill. Look, I cut F57 in my arm.
Oh, wait, you actually did it?
Yeah.
What the actual
Alright, I guess we can keep playing.
Wait, Jonathan, I have a quick question before we continue playing.
What?
What's my IP?
113.421.563.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, alright, let's keep going.
Jonathan, what's my address?
What?
I said, what's my address?
If you keep asking me questions, then I'm gonna leak your IP.
I don't care if you take a leak on me. I just want to know what my address is.
I can't tell you.
Why?
Because if you keep asking questions, then I'm gonna leak your IP and come to your house.
Jonathan, what's my address? Because it seems you don't have my address from the way you've been acting.
Yes, I do. Stop talking.
You don't have my address, do you?
Alright, fine. I tricked you and got you to cut F57 in your arm. Ha ha ha, loser.
Hey, Jonathan, is this my address?
No, that's not your address.
Whose is it then?
Alright, for real though. How did you get that?
You don't get to ask questions.
My new money goal? Buy a place closer to my family.
Refinance at a lower rate and save for a basketball court in my barn.
Have a better credit card than her. Compare the smartest credit cards, mortgage lenders, and more. So you can make your money goals happen on NerdWallet.
Mukbang, a community on YouTube built on the consumption of obscene amounts of food for the entertainment of bewildered onlookers. This is Nicholas Perry, aka Nikocado Avocado, a rather controversial figure on the platform. He's been in a few incidents that hit the bigwigs' radar upstairs.
Looks like a douchebag.
You're one to talk. Recon agents have acquired its current location and are holding a perimeter on the Alpha site. You've been tasked with eliminating the target. Extraction points have
Look,
been...
why exactly do we care?
Well, you see, Alpha granted us a new tech that we want you to try out in the field.
Hey, dude. What the f*** is this?
What?
Like, it looks like a grenade that has a power up, but I haven't...
Oh no, you won't be able to access that video in your current location.
That's stupid.
No, if you could test out the incendiary plasma grenades on them, that'd be great.
Incendiary plasma? How those work?
I just told...
How am I supposed to watch this if it's blocked?
I'm glad you asked.
Well, well, well.
Hey, Tro!
Haven't seen you since Acapulco.
Acapulco? Motherfucker, you told me we go to Acapulco together. That's our special place. Remember one time we saw...
Look, man, can we not talk about that?
You listening?
Of course I'm listening to you. Listen, don't you guys normally have black...
As we have just outlined, mukbang didn't emerge into the public consciousness until the early 2010s. This means that practically all mukbang creators had alternative careers before their YouTube channels took off. Nikocado Avocado is no different in that regard. However, his story is one of particular curiosity. What do I mean? Well, let's start off with a little clip.
Actually, I can even use it in the nether.
That is obviously a wedding. However, there are a few details that may contribute to the intrigue. Firstly, it was a vegan wedding. And secondly, as you may notice, it was accompanied by a rather delightful violin recital. That violinist was someone by the name of Albert Einstein. I'm just with you, it's Nick Avocado.
Veganism affects not only yourself, but it affects other people. It affects the environment. It affects the animals, of course, animals that are being raised and killed for our consumption and usage. It affects us spiritually and mentally, physically, of course.
I forgot
Yes, this is Nick Avocado. As you can probably tell, he hasn't started making the mukbang content that he is renowned for quite yet. In fact, he was on what many would interpret as the opposite end of the spectrum. He was indeed a vegan.
This is a present. Look, Avocado got an avocado. How cliche is this? So cliche, I can't even.
Most content involving him in this phase was uploaded between 2014 and 2016. However, if you were feeling particularly inquisitive, you could dredge up an old Twitter which advertised his violin skills, including an audition for the Glee project, which was a reality TV series where the winner could have their own 7-episode character arc on the titular show. Unfortunately for Nick, opportunity didn't come knocking this time, and his existence continued to be quite ordinary. This is where we should introduce another creator. This gentleman goes by the name of Orlin. Orlin had a YouTube channel known as Orlin Home. On this channel, he would post a lot of vegan-related content. Most of it has been removed, but thanks to this one old screenshot and some old videos still up on his YouTube channel, you can see what the content, now belonging to one of Nick's alts, used to be.
My name is Nicholas, and I'm hungry.
Now, at this point, Orlin was in a relationship with our good friend Nick here. In fact, in this 2013 screenshot, you can see them posing for a very cute couple's profile pic. How adorable. Orlin lived in Colombia, and they would visit each other on a somewhat regular basis. However, this meant that Nick would feature in some of Orlin's videos. However, Orlin held down the channel. It seems although he was active in the vegan community, YouTube wasn't always Nick's priority. Although in the later video, he would say this.
In 2012, 2013, one of the two, I put out this big animal rights video on my YouTube channel, my own YouTube channel.
Implying that he had been doing some online activism, though not under his current alias. No, it wouldn't be until 2014 that Nick would initiate Project Avocado, and even then it would appear to be dormant, the screenshot showing that despite of his subscribers, he otherwise had no activity. Now there was activity, but for many people looking, you'd have a hard time finding that. But we'll save that tea until later. This didn't mean he didn't upload and wouldn't appear in various videos with other vegan creators, promoting that healthy lifestyle. Most of this collab content appeared throughout the span of 2016 while he was still identifying as a vegan. At this point, certain vegan creators have picked up the mukbang concept as means to promote their lifestyle and provide fairly easygoing, accessible content for audiences, especially those who may not be interested in veganism regardless. Nick collaborated with a few prominent creators at the time, including Brianna Jackson, Cheap Lazy Vegan, and the somewhat popular creator Mummy Tang, who, by the way, seems like the most delightful person, and I will be highly disappointed if she ends up being exposed.
We have Nick Avocado!
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
In a lot of the content that has remained on YouTube from this Nick Avocado era, there is definitely a lot of flexing regarding his healthy lifestyle.
I like to work out. Do you work out?
I do work out.
What do you do? Do you do cardio?
Well, right now I do a lot of weightlifting. That's what I really, really enjoy. But I do cardio. Actually, today I ran around our neighborhood for like longer than I thought it would. It ended up being like
35 minutes.
And then we worked at home too. Don't forget that.
Yes, that was so much fun.
Give me some credit too.
Now, some vegans are known to be vocal regarding the proclaimed health benefits that such a lifestyle can provide, and they are completely at liberty to do that. But Nick's comments never seemed to pertain the dogmatic conviction that I'd come to expect from such lifestyle professionals. Maybe I'm biased from what I know now, but after watching his pre-mukbang content, the transition began to make more sense than less. One video that did catch my interest was an upload where All In talked about Nick's first time. Now, if you were going by the title, you may assume something a bit more racy. However, it's actually the first time Nick tried an avocado, which given the channel branding is obviously a big deal. Nonetheless, elements of the rhetoric caught my attention.
And Nicholas and I were very against eating fat back then because we were influenced by 80-10-10 and other raw vegan diets, like 30 minutes a day diet or whatever. So we were trying to keep the fat to 95.5 basically because of, you know, the whole 30 minutes a day thing.
It seems that over the years, although it may not have been documented too clearly, All In and Nick's attitude to diet has seemingly softened. And at this point, although they may have still identified as vegans, they would gradually take a more latitude within their lifestyle. This could also be seen in Nick's own content, although no longer on YouTube. I found some Facebook posts that do begin to show the transition is content made in 2016. He always seemed to trade in clickbait type content and indulge in a more mainstream approach towards presentation than his partner. However, nothing really caught my attention until around July of that year. Firstly, some routine mukbang content, but in the thumbnail, he would advertise how many calories are being consumed, a grand 2,000 in that one. This calorie content would also increase in future uploads that month, and he'd go on to promote vegan food that, in spite of their vegan nature, was otherwise rather unhealthy. On top of this, there is another video uploaded a couple days later, which appears to be a pretty fiery response to another pair of creators within the vegan community. With this level of knowledge, we can tell that Nick's outspoken nature would lead to polarization, as displayed by many of his own comments around the time, and his mukbang-style content showed the direction that he was headed. Over the next few months, his style would transform completely. Let's talk about that transformation.
Bop. I'm just clicking.
Okay. Now, Nick's transition has to be split into
one of two stages.
Transition out of the vegan community and transition out of veganism altogether. So I'll be splitting this into these two stages and the observations that can be made with them. I am not a vegan. I'm sure many people will be aware of that, but at the same time, I'm rather indifferent to the lifestyle. And for many people, being vegan isn't something that they advertise on YouTube or in real life. However, vegans do receive a bitter stigma due to the self-superior attitude that a vocal few of them have. Now, I don't think this reputation is completely warranted, because every belief system which has what they perceive as moral foundations is bound to have some evangelical individuals. It's not that dissimilar to a religion. However, this means a few things. First of all, that the YouTube vegan community is probably going to be a bit more dramatic than one might expect, because those most outspoken on their cause are often going to seek out mediums to maximize their influence, and when that happens, you'll likely have pushback from outside, from people who hate your position as much as you hate theirs, and from within, from people who think that your attitude is the wrong way to bring change to the world. Nick definitely seemed like the sort of person to be quite vocal against those in his own community, and his posts seemed to prove that as well. Whether his points were rational or reasonable is another question which I wasn't really able to deduce from his titles or Facebook posts alone, so we'll save this point until later. However, one thing is certain. These sorts of dramas will lead to inevitable alienation from that community, and much less obligation to the fighting to drive such a So with this personal experience, Nick decided to quit the vegan community, uploading a 35-minute video at the start of September announcing this, with his own justifications.
I haven't made a video for about 1 week
We have to go fast.
I have my reasons for that.
Fuck it. Wait, where's my lighter?
I don't know how to properly begin this video because there's a lot on my mind and it comes from various angles.
Now, this isn't the most necessary to the art today, but it is an important pit stop, so I'll do my best to summarize.
No, I don't care. I'm just gonna put. I don't care anymore about this world. It used to be fun, but now I can't even have fun without cheating. So I'm gonna just put some in Japan. So you can't even watch me do it. I don't even care.
Within the community, he thought by leaving that community himself, he'd be able to escape those with that mentality, but ultimately he was not able to, and realized this spilled over into all communities related into veganism. I will now show a select number of clips which both reflect the nature of the video and are definitely not ironic in the slightest.
To talk about your lifestyle. And the cool thing to do is talk about someone's personal life, or this person said it big, or this person did this, or this person said this, and this person got cheated on. What's that? That's why this community now. This is why I want to leave. People fighting, people making videos about who texted who cheated on who said what, taking screenshots of comments from months ago and making dramatic videos about it. Like, if that is evident with just a few thousand people in the world who have gone vegan, then if the whole world goes vegan, we are not saved either. Mommy Tang, even Mommy Tang, who's done nothing to attack or belittle or chastise vegan YouTubers publicly, she still gets picked on, she still gets dramatic videos made about her, and she still gets the crazies that are coming after her and threatening her life. What is with it with the vegans?
As a side note, whoever's been messing with Mummy Tang better back up. You mess with Mummy Tang, you mess with me. Now, throughout the video, he still refers to himself as a vegan, and even states this towards the end.
I'm still vegan. I love animals. I care for them. I haven't had animal products for over 4.5 years. But I'm done talking about it, which is really, really unfortunate. I'm done saying vegan because I know it turns so many people off. And even the people that are on your team are the first ones to bat you on the head. Just look at this community, you guys.
This was not the end of the vegan diet for Nick Avocado, it was just the end of the vegan community. And although the like-to-dislike ratio on this video doesn't flatter him, it's not an unreasonable video for what it's worth. Although he had shown capability to involve himself with drama in the past, this seemed like a distancing from that, and he was ready to move on and be more mature. Over the next few months, he would gradually adjust his content to that more mukbang-oriented. There were other uploads, but they were generally phased out. One observation that you could make is that although the food was still vegan, it wasn't exactly healthy. I don't think I'm making any shocking revelations here, but vegan food isn't always healthy, and some substitutes can be very unhealthy. Nick was definitely playing more into the cheat day side of a vegan diet, apart from the fact that he was cheating every day.
Sloths, welcome to another mukbang. Seriously, you guys, I've been busy all day long. I started out with an entire Domino's pizza onto myself, down my throat. And then I also had Subway, the entire sub, down my throat. And this is not including all the fruit I had in the morning, plus a little rice. Now it's dinner time. I've filmed 3 mukbangs back to back today, and here I go.
However, some of the videos became very popular, and looking at an old Social Blade screenshot, you can see that his success came rapidly with the changing content. Certain videos did extremely well, and subscribers began to flood in at an unprecedented rate. It seems by leaving a toxic community behind, he was able to carve out his own niche of casually vegan mukbang content. However, Nick wasn't quite satisfied with this.
Right then and there. So anyways, now I eat whatever I want, as long as it's plant-based, but I still, my memory, you guys, is bad. My clumsiness is getting out of hand. No matter how much I eat, how much I sleep, how much I exercise, eat my fruits and veggies, and even have my fun with fried food, sometimes I have doubts.
These concerns would all be put on show in his video called I Don't Want to Be Vegan Anymore, which showcases Nick wrestling back and forth with his animal rights principles and dietary requirements.
But I have to be myself, and I have to be honest with how I feel if I want to keep doing this. Right? Or you just want me to lie and say that this is how humans were designed to be, even though there's never been a culture or civilization on Earth to ever do it. It's okay. That's what's really natural. Even when we were evolving, eating bugs and other animals in the rainforests. It's okay. Don't worry about them. What I'm doing is right and natural.
It definitely showcases a more emotional side to him, and being emotional isn't an inherently bad thing. But the video itself is pretty unfocused and doesn't seem to have the clarity of reasoning that his video on departing the vegan community had.
We come from different parts of the world. We have different abilities to tolerate this and that. Some people just like bananas. Some people hate bananas. Some people can't stand lentils. Some people like them. Some people have different genes. Did you know? Did you know that this is so true? You know, I used to believe, oh, we're all evil. No. It's so true that there is a huge foundation to investigate and study the Jewish genes.
It's not like I don't think there are reasons why one may need to change dietary consumption. I doubt that amount of vegan food consumption would have been good for you. But Nick seems to be more improvising on the spot rather than explaining why he's made a thought-out decision. Here are some highlights.
I think I'm missing something. It's so annoying. Like, I told myself, it's a blessing in disguise that I do eating shows because I can eat an insane amount of food every single day and stay relatively thin, whatever. But that doesn't mean I feel good. And it's annoying to have to eat so often. It is annoying to have to go, like, be obsessed. Be obsessed. Where am I going to eat next? Where am I going to get my food? Is that vegan? Is that vegan too? Oh, no, I have to vegan. Oh, it's annoying. If you're deficient in something, it doesn't matter how much you tell yourself, well, I'm going to do it for the animals. I'm going to do it to save the environment, save the trees. The poor trees are being chopped down for cows right now. I need to just, you can't be deficient for that long for the trees or for the cows. Does that make sense biologically? Crooked. Do you guys know the richest? It was a video about the world's oldest people, okay? And it had like the world's oldest people. Not a single one of them were vegan, okay? And the oldest lived lady on Earth ate 3 eggs a day. And that was her secret to living long. Now, I'm not saying everyone should eat 3 eggs a day, but I am showing that we aren't all the same. You don't understand. The reason I changed the type of vegan diet I eat so much, year after year after year after year, is because eventually what I was doing didn't feel right. And I feel like I'm at the end. What is there left to try? Supplementing 15,000 things every day? I don't have that kind of money, so that's not an option. I'm not going to do juice cleanses. I'm not going to fast. I'm not going to go back to raw food. I'm not going to eat just potatoes. I'm not just going to eat rice and sugar.
Where
they don't make me feel good long term.
Let's talk about this more.
There's no way a zombie.
Alright, so you can say what you want about his videos. They're a bit strange and hard to follow, and it's easy to look at his content and think that he may have his own reasons for wanting to leave vegan content behind. He's talking about the health of his diet, but ultimately there's nothing particularly healthy in what he was doing, and many of his viewers pointed this out at the time. Vegan substitutes don't place you above the health consequences when you're ingesting colossal volumes for YouTube content. However, although he may seem a tad ignorant, you wouldn't notice much provocation in his language. Sure, he may have some accountability issues, but it was possible to give his intent the benefit of the doubt, for the moment at least. That moment lasted shorter than one might expect, as less than 4 days later, he uploaded a video called Why Veganism Is Wrong and Makes People Go Crazy. In the 50-minute video, he ups his arguments to 11, but something feels kinda off.
To think that we live in a world where we're all gonna where it's just pure and there's never consequences, or to be healthy, you don't have to contribute to something bad in order to get positive effects from it, doesn't make sense. I mean, it might be a stretch, correct me if I'm wrong, but I very well could be, but I'm thinking, like, these are just little examples. I think of the Holocaust. The Holocaust was an awful, awful thing. People had to suffer. People were displaced around the world. People were angry. But what came of it? New laws, change, beautiful, beautiful art, beautiful, beautiful music. Sometimes light comes out of darkness.
A lot of the video is him speaking very broadly about this idea of veganism without any concise direction. A lot of the time I was unsure about the point he was trying to prove, even though he had some all-caps bold title with a very clear point. The video itself didn't have that bite, no pun intended. There are a lot of anecdotes, and mostly about people who Nick knew.
You don't think I've tried? Maybe you guys don't remember the interviews. I Skype called Dr. McDougall, Dr. Furman, talked to Michael Greger. I remember there was this one girl, very, very, very popular. She was like one of the most watched YouTube channels. Now, you don't know who I'm talking about. It's a mysterious person. But she was vegan. This was like 5-6 years ago. There was a huge train of people coming out. This only happened within a few months, and then they were just kind of like ignored, and hopefully what they were saying would disappear. But a lot of you guys that knew me back then are probably going to know what I'm talking about. A huge train of people, group of people that all got blood works, and they had high triglycerides. Remember, I don't want to I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable, but I will say, without saying their names, there were their 3 brothers, and they were very popular, and they had all these fans, and they were really into building muscle and being athletes and this and that. Can think of another example? I was literally just out of the blue, like this is perfect timing. Just a week ago, maybe even less, like 5 days ago, I was on the phone with a friend, and she told me about this guy that was very like rah, animal rights, and he participated in protests, and I think he did a few undercover like slaughterhouse like helped produce those videos or spread the social media, something like that, and very, very enthusiastic about it. And he was vegan for 3 years, I think, 2 two or 3 years, not like a long time, but still, 3 years is a long time. 20 minutes ago, today is Monday, I literally got a message on Facebook from a friend. She's really, really nice, and I kind of hung out with her this summer and stuff, and she sent me a message saying, hey, I saw your first video about questioning veganism, and I want to let you know that you're in doubt, and that's okay, and I'm here for you if you want to talk, because she's vegan, but her partner stopped being vegan. He had been vegan for like 8 years, like a long, long time, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, like a long time. Yeah, basically said that it was very scary because their circle of friends, they weren't sure how they would treat him and this and that. Okay, I got an email from someone named, don't want to say her name, and she's basically saying, look, I followed your path as well. She's been vegan for 10 years. He specifically asked me not to share this message, but he is Native American, and he told me that there's this huge misconception that Native Americans were very sad when they had a cure, and they felt so sad, but they did it because it's all they had.
Jesus Christ, Nick, is there anyone you don't know? And it's not like I don't believe these people don't exist. A good anecdote could always spice up a video, but when used to the degree that Nick uses them, it feels like a limp substitute for real evidence-based arguments that Nick himself seems to be aware of.
Saying things without concrete evidence, using cherry-picked studies. It's no doubt. Listen, I know the meat industry probably does the same thing, so people buy more of their products. But there has to be a happy medium, and there is a reason why all these people, why a lot of people have problems down the road.
If I was to provide a personal opinion on the video, it feels that Nick had already made a decision and was trying to play out his transition as naturally as possible, perhaps justify it to himself. Though he may have a point about the crazy thing, given that 2 uploads later, he's really out here putting pineapples on his pizza. I could say more about this video, but it is
oh my god, it's not even that bad. If you don't like pineapple on pizza, fuck you. It's good. It's literally my favorite pizza. And if you're like, wait, doesn't fruit doesn't belong on pizza. Bruh, tomatoes are fruit. That's the sauce. If you don't get sauce on pizza, you're the devil. Pineapple pizza isn't for the devil. People who, like, yeah, you might be allergic to tomatoes or something, but you're using like a substitute for the sauce.
However, there's no way that someone like Nick didn't anticipate this. He had already shown an awareness of the toxicity. What were his intentions? Well, over the next few months, Nick began to reveal these intentions. He made a couple more vegan videos, but then began to advertise his shift away from veganism, finally celebrating his full departure with a trip to Domino's Pizza. An interesting choice considering one of his concerns about veganism were the health risks. These health risks continued to escalate over future videos, bringing his intent into question. Nevertheless, he continued to proclaim the benefits of his new diet.
I gave it an honest attempt like no other. And sure, I was skinny for the majority of all these diets. I feel like I'm even thinner now than many points when I was raw vegan. Such a swollen face, and I still get very swollen faces, and I'm going to talk about this in this video. It's been every single day of eating animal products. I feel so good. It's like a light bulb went off. It's like I saw the light. It's like a new set of batteries have been implanted into my head. Talk about sustainable energy.
And I'm not going to be the one to defend the vegan diet as the ideal lifestyle for everyone, but Nick's solution wasn't the reasonable answer. In his vegan questioning content, he spoke a lot of the time about bringing up diet and what human beings need to maintain a balanced intake.
Okay, maybe 50 of you. There's 50. You got 50 people right now. You're watching this video, and you're in the same position as me. You've been vegan for many, many years, and you're starting to have some doubts. And maybe you're getting some blood work back, and your B12's low, and your iron's low. Your omegas are low. Your calcium is low. You're not getting vitamin K2. Where do you get vitamin K2? How do you absorb calcium if you're not eating sauerkraut every day? Well, there's K2 in animal products, but what do you do if you don't eat them? There's all these different things. Abdomen, where do you get them? Huh?
However, in response to this, he merely introduces meat to his already excessive diet, indulging himself to outrageous proportions, 10,000 calorie challenges, so much fast food, I'm surprised he can't single-handedly support their value on the stock markets. Because of this, people began picking up on his rather unhealthy consumption habits and raising their concerns that this was not conducive to the lifestyle that he had previously aspired for. However, in the true nature of the internet, some people went a tad too far and began diagnosing him with eating disorders. A lot of these people who were attacking Nick appeared to be those of the vegan lifestyle, and ultimately he used a lot of this to justify another video against these individuals who were coming at him on his channel.
Over the past month, I have gotten thousands, to the extent where I have friends reaching out to me, people I haven't even talked to for like
what do you give?
a year or two, sending me messages on Facebook or even emails.
Actually,
Nick,
what could you give me later on?
I heard that
wish
you have
I
an
knew,
eating disorder.
because I don't.
And I just want to let you know I'm here for you if you need help with it or talking about it. Nick, I heard that you're throwing up your food. You have bulimia. And, you know, why didn't you tell me? I thought I was your best friend.
I have to say, I'm somewhat skeptical that it's thousands of people, but we will entertain this for the sake of discourse. Now, I don't think it was fair to accuse him of being bulimic.
What is going on, everyone, and welcome to a very special video on my channel. Now, as it is the 29th of February, leap year day 2020, an extra day, of course, I thought I'd give you an extra long video. As you can probably tell, by extra long, I mean very, very long. So sit back, relax, and let's get into a compilation of my best ever Entitled Parents stories. This is Entitled Parents, the movie. Relatives invited for dinner assume they're staying the night. My dad is the only member of my family with whom I have a close relationship, as he is the only one who accepts my choice to remain child-free and focus on my career and travel. As for my stepmom, stepbro, and his wife, uncles, aunts, and cousins, all of them have given me heck for my lifestyle. I'm in my mid-30s now, and ever since I'd entered my late 20s, they began badgering me to get married, preferably to a man my father chooses for me. I'm Indian, so you can imagine how this goes. I got the usual bull bingos. Who will take care of you when you're old? You're selfish for only thinking about yourself. You need to marry and breed because that's what women do. Around 4 years ago, I finally got sick and tired of them and decided to ignore their calls and texts. I've only maintained low contact with my stepbrother because he was not quite as horrid as the others. I was never close with these people to begin with, so it wasn't difficult. For a while, they took to harassing my dad to get him to get his daughter in line, but he shut them down by saying that it was my life, my decisions. At the time when this incident took place, a certain crisis had arisen in my extended family, one that directly affected my dad. I don't wish to go into details, but it compelled me to interact with these people again. So, my stepmom's sister, her husband, their teenage son, along with their grown son, his wife, and their toddler, came to our city to discuss matters. My dad and I decided that we can all chat at my place as it's close to the airport. So all of these folks, along with my dad, stepmom, stepbro, and sister-in-law, and their baby are at my place. We all ate dinner and talked about the issue at length. However, it was quite an ordeal for me, as I had to constantly tell off the toddler, who is my stepmom's great niece, as she kept trying to grab my cat and dogs or make loud noises at them. I asked her parents to intervene, but they just laughed it off. My pets are very well behaved, but are not used to being around kids, especially if they're annoying little brats whose parents refuse to discipline them. As soon as the discussion was over, my stepmom's sister asked which of the bedrooms was for them. I was caught a bit off guard and asked her what she meant. Her husband chimed in and asked, rather demanded, that I get two of the bedrooms ready for their family. We'll be spending the night here. Oh, and breakfast would better be served before 8 a.m. in the morning, as we don't want to miss our flight. He said this with the matter-of-factness of a seasoned parasite. This was my breaking point. Not once had I indicated that they would be staying at my place. I just offered to host them for dinner once, that's it. Even my dad was shocked. I told them very bluntly that I'm not particularly fond of their family and do not feel comfortable letting them spend the night. Also, how the heck did they get this ridiculous idea anyway? Now my stepmom flared up. She no longer speaks to me directly, so she began asking my dad why his daughter could not put up family members in her home for just one night? How can she be so selfish? My My stepbrother's kid chose this exact moment to start bawling. So my sister-in-law told her to stop yelling as the baby was getting upset. Thanks, kid. I told everyone in a firm voice that we discussed what we were supposed to discuss and it was time for them to leave. My stepmom and her sister walked out grumbling. Everyone else followed. The toddler's mum asked if she and her kid could pet my dogs. I just said no with a straight face, which seemed to annoy her. The baby was still bawling like a champ, so no one was able to say anything else. I never even wanted these people in my home to begin with, so letting them spend the night was obviously out of the question. If they had asked beforehand and asked politely, then I would have considered it. But I refuse to be a doormat for buttholes who can't keep their entitlement in check. Well, good for you. I could understand if it was your mum and dad that wanted to stay, but your stepmom's sister, there's no blood relationship there at all. And also, they didn't just ask, they demanded. Moving on to our next story. My child has peanut allergies. Remove all peanuts from this public park now. A few years ago, some friends and I went for a picnic in a public forest preserve on a summer afternoon. The covered pavilion was huge, about 60 meters by 80 meters, with dozens of picnic tables and a fire pit. Dozens of different families and groups were there enjoying the day in this public area. It was nice. And then enter Karen, the entitled mum. She planted herself next to our table. All the other tables were full. She showed up with two other Karen haircut friends and their squad of toddlers, apparently for the entitled mum's kid's birthday party. This park has no reserved tables. It was first come, first served. The entitled mum was huffing, irritated that she and her precious squad had to sit next to a group of young people. She huffed a bit and gave dirty looks. We ignored her and unpacked our food. All was well until I opened a bag of peanuts. We were watching baseball on a laptop. Gotta have peanuts for baseball. Excuse me, hey, are those peanuts? Yes, I'm trying to be polite. Do you want some? I can share. Here, take some for the kids. The entitled mum starts yelling and slaps the offered bag away. No, get those away from here. Get them out right now. I was totally confused. What? Oh, okay, you don't like peanuts. I got it. I turned away back to my friends, happy to ignore her. But, hey, didn't you hear me? My child is allergic to peanuts. They could kill her. At this point, my friends were ready to tell her off, but I'm more diplomatic. I'm sorry, I don't know you nor your child. If I did, I would not have offered you peanuts. Now that I know, I will keep my peanuts at our table away from your kid. Okay? Enjoy your party. With that polite de-escalation, I returned to my baseball game and everyone had a great day. No, of course not. The entitled mum grabs me by the shoulder. Listen, you are threatening the life of my child. You have been told that there is an allergic child in this pavilion. The law says you must remove those peanuts from the park, now. At this point, I was in shock. A peanut law? My friend extricated me from her grasp. We can eat whatever we want. It's a public park. If you don't like what we're eating, go sit somewhere else. Yeah, it's as easy as that. We have the allergy, so we have the right of way. Sorry, no, you don't have it. It's your kid that does. That's the law. If you don't take those peanuts out of here, I'm calling the police. At this point, her Karens clucked in support. I told my friends to ignore her. They all started eating my peanuts loudly and defiantly. I was careful to make sure all the shells stayed in our trash bag, though. I didn't actually want to hurt the kid, of course. Things quietened down, but 30 minutes later, she did it. A forest preserve policeman, FP, pulled up. EM accosted him. Those people are trying to kill my child. They're throwing peanuts at our kids, knowing they are allergic to peanuts. I froze, absolutely terrified. She was a rich, middle-aged woman in fancy clothes. We were poor kids in street clothes. I feared the forest preserve policeman would side with her. My friends broke out in angry protest. Luckily, the dozen other families around us were sick of the EM's ranting. Many other people chimed in, calling out the peanut throwing as a lie and confirming that this entitled mum was the instigator. The forest preserve policeman scolded EM for the frivolous 911 call. He also confirmed that there is no allergy law. If we kept our peanuts at our table, we were fine. She got off with a warning. EM and her Karens ended their party early, sending us some evil looks on the way out. We enjoyed our peanuts, beer, and baseball the rest of the day. The great thing about this story was OP was very respectful to the kid and their allergy. It's just a shame the entitled mum couldn't have that same respect. And finally, racist entitled mum wants me to give her precious baby my phone because I'm coloured and probably stole it. Police get involved and I'm apprehended. Just for background, I'm a half-black woman who grew up in a ghetto and worked worked dang hard through high school to earn a scholarship and a full ride through college. I now work a very decent job and make a reasonable amount of money, which I'm not afraid to show off, though I do maintain my ghetto heritage. Naturally, racism is a touchy subject for me. So here I am minding my own business in a local coffee place, answering some emails on my new Samsung Note 10. Day off, so I'm not dressed particularly well. Hoodie, sweatpants, you know the deal. Enter the cast. EM, of course, is an entitled mother, generally snooty looking, like she was trying really hard to look wealthy, but nothing she had on was actually valuable, obviously fake jewelry, etc. EK, the entitled kid, maybe 12 or 13, large, positive he had some kind of autism or Asperger's, due to his general mannerisms and, well, screeching. I noticed that this entitled mum and her entitled kid are staring at me. Not a big deal, especially since this is an upper class area, and I'm, well, me, with my demeanour. Eventually, EM and EK walk over to me, and the entitled mum says, "You, where did you get that?" I bought it? How? How do you think? People like you can't afford phones like that. You must have stolen it. At this point, I'm sort of in shock and speechless. She follows up with, "I should report you to the police, but I'm willing to let this go if you hand the phone over to my precious baby son now." And why would I do that? Because you stole it and don't deserve it. You're not getting my phone, lady. At this point, the manager, supervisor, assertive staff member, I'm not sure, but I'm calling him manager from here, walks over after noticing the situation and tries to calm everyone down. "Mom, I need you to keep it down. This is a coffee shop." This woman called me a lady after stealing my son's phone. Wait, what? I want a full refund, my phone back, and some compensation. Mom, you need to give her the phone back or I'm calling the police. But it's my phone. That's my son's phone, you lady. Mom, that's clearly not your phone. I will call the police if you don't give the phone back. Wow, this is like a 2v1 situation. At this point, the entitled kid is screeching. I can't really make out what he's saying, but he's reaching for my phone. Having dealt with racism all my life, I began to go off at all three of them, so naturally the police were called. The police immediately apprehended me, and only me, and confiscated my phone. They also took EM, EK, and the manager's statements before taking mine last. All three of them told the cops an exaggerated version of events. At this point, you'd have thought I was some homeless black person who just mugged a 13-year-old, if you believe the story they told. I gave them my statement and told them I would refuse to cooperate any further until they checked security footage. The coffee shop refused to let them check, since as far as they were concerned, it was clear I was a thief and I'd been apprehended, so what's the point? Eventually, the security footage was checked after several minutes of convincing, and everything became very awkward after that. Yeah, I can imagine. The police awkwardly apologized and even went out of their way to say we weren't working on racial stereotypes, just responding to the scene that was reported. None of the coffee shop staff actually said anything to me once I was apprehended. Guess I'm not going back there now. The entitled kid never stopped screeching even as I left after being released from police. The entitled mum seemed completely unfazed by the security footage, continuing to claim that I must have stolen it from someone else, because my type can't afford those phones. So that was another day off ruined by entitled parents and racial profiling. I wish I could say I was surprised by the absolute gall of that woman, but to be honest, I've experienced so many of these situations and nothing surprises me anymore. Well, that just makes me feel horrible inside. Like, the racial profiling is one thing, but
that is his annoying music. God, he's giving me a goddamn headache with that AIDS music. There's whatever the fuck.
BuzzFeed, a name that's synonymous with filthy asshole. They've been coming under fire recently for stealing a few video ideas from a popular YouTuber named Jacqueline Glynn. And since many of you know internet drama, YouTube drama in particular, has become my soap opera, I was very well aware of this drama and I got very deep into it. I enjoy jerking myself off while reading about the newest drama stories. However, I made the mistake in assuming this was an isolated incident, some drama that just served for my own entertainment, kind of like some WWE shit for a petty YouTube drama. I was wrong. It seems BuzzFeed has stolen a video idea from me. I never thought anyone would be able to replicate the high IQ content I produce, but it seems they tried their best and they took my baby and they shook it until it's shit and they created an abhorrent abomination based on a beautiful video idea that I made and produced. And I know BuzzFeed is familiar with the video I made because it was #1 on YouTube trending in my dreams earlier last week when I made it. The video is eating Reptar bars with a celebrity guest. I'm not going to spoil who the celebrity guest is. I recommend you check it out for yourself since it's clearly the superior video in the eating Reptar bar fetish community. And then today, BuzzFeed posted something called We Tried Reptar Bars. That's interesting. The timing, it just doesn't make sense. Is this a coincidence? I don't think so. I clearly put the flag down in the eating Reptar bars community. I was the pioneer. I created this idea. BuzzFeed hijacked it. Let's go ahead and watch this together and point out some similarities between the two. Now this intro graphic is really the only big difference between their video and mine, excluding of course their higher production value, their 6 people versus just me shoveling chocolate into my fucking mouth, the bad acting from their bad actors, and their outrageous jump cuts in their video. Otherwise, it's fundamentally the same thing, except mine is clearly better. I prefer not to use flashy intro cards like BuzzFeed does because, I don't know how many of you keep up with history at all, but there was a war called World War II, where Hitler was using some flashy intro cards to convince the youth that what they were fighting for was the right thing. So during his propaganda, he was using very similar intro cards to BuzzFeed, and I just don't want anything that I do associated with what Hitler did, but that's just a personal preference.
We are bringing our childhood dreams to life today. We are trying...
What?
This was the favorite candy.
What?
The Rugrats children. It is.
No, he never brought his phone in my room. No.
I am Reptar. Rugrats? It was so good. Classic.
Don't worry, I'll save you from hearing more of that bad acting, but that's fundamentally what this is in a nutshell. They have a discount Ryan Reynolds with his friend in a Tommy Bahama shirt. They try Reptar bar, the 2 girls doing embarrassing things try Reptar bar, and these 2 try Reptar bar, and then at the end they try and give it this really grandiose message that makes no sense, just very pretentious, how chocolate and nostalgia connects the world or some stupid shit. And really this whole thing is just not very entertaining. There's not a whole lot of value here. And the similarity between this and my video is I also try Reptar bar. In fact, I try the same Reptar bar, and I tried it first. So they took my Reptar bars that I overpaid for and they used it in their own video. They should change the title of this video to We Tried to Copy Charlie's Genius Eating Reptar with Celebrity Guest Video Idea, and we couldn't do it very well, but we're still making a lot of money off it anyway.
It's real. Wow. It doesn't really turn your tongue green. It says it does.
It says it turns your tongue green.
Traffic instruction. Hair open.
Step 2, chomp.
Step 3 is more like Reptar.
Oh my God. She's beautiful.
What the fuck is that surprised reaction for? Did you not expect there to be chocolate under that wrapper? I don't understand at all. Did you expect there to be a car under it? This is such a stupid fucking reaction. This is the type of performance parents would put on in front of their toddler in order to make them eat their vegetables to make it seem more appealing. BuzzFeed clearly thinks their audience is the stupidest group of kids that needs perpetual jingling keys in front of their faces and constant loud noises to hold their attention. And they're not wrong, that is their audience, but the fact they're using my idea in that style makes me want to vomit out of my asshole. I'm the only one allowed to eat Reptar bars on camera.
It's really good. I was expecting it to be sweet, but that is somehow sweeter than what candy already is. It's a little green. It's not as green as I want it to be. It tastes like chocolate. It tastes like chocolate.
Well, no shit. That statement about sums up the whole video. It's just a waste of time. They eat a chocolate bar, and the best thing they can say is it tastes like chocolate. I don't really see how it's entertaining, and I don't see the value in it. Let's compare this reaction to my well-thought-out and thorough analysis of the chocolate bar, where I treat it like I'm a goddamn wine sommelier tasting this fucking chocolate bar. I paint a picture. I make you taste the chocolate bar with my words. I get down into the chocolate bar on a molecular level. Now, on my first bite, I was able to pretty much discern where the chocolate came from. The smell was a dead giveaway that it was of the Italian origin, and with the first bite, I was able to get a strong hint of wood. I think the barrel the chocolate was aged in was perhaps opened while listening to Mozart's Symphony 40, and it all just kind of came together. It wasn't bad. It was quite delectable. It was palatable. And during the fermentation, I think all the elements just kind of cohesively worked together and formed this symbiotic relationship that eventually led to this chocolate bar. Really, the covalent bonds formed here are extremely strong. You would have your work cut out for you if you were trying to sever these bonds with anything shy of a carbon-cutting photon emitter. And that's only a small snippet of the full analysis. So go ahead and compare that to the it tastes like chocolate. Laughable in comparison, isn't it? But I can't really be mad at BuzzFeed here, the same way you can't be mad at a dumpster for smelling like shit. It's just what BuzzFeed does. But it's the fact they blatantly stole this idea from me that I think has tarnished their reputation here.
Nostalgia's so real. Yeah. Like, no matter who you are, we've only met a couple months ago. Completely different childhoods, different parts of the world, but we love the Rugrats.
And it's stuff like this, like no matter what's going on in the world, stuff like this can bring people together.
What are the odds? You both liked an extremely popular cartoon from the 90s, and no, things like this can't bring anyone together. It's a fucking chocolate bar. Pepsi tried that angle you're talking about in their infamous commercial not too long ago. It didn't work.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to have this. Something I definitely dreamed about wanting all the time when I was a kid. And even though eating it now, like, it's just candy. This is more about the idea of, like, dreaming about something as a kid, and then in whatever form that takes, it becomes real. Dude, there's like a little bit of magic to it.
There's no magic to it. It's a fucking chocolate bar.
It's a little magical.
Oh, I am Reptar. Oh,
I think I've made my case. I actually heard about this from a lot of messages telling me they think BuzzFeed might have stolen my video. Even the comments section on this video itself, people have sniffed out the similarities. The resemblance uncanny, the timing suspicious. I think what happened is someone at BuzzFeed HQ, perhaps Kelsey, is a subscriber of mine, and she liked my video so much she said to BuzzFeed, "Hey guys, look, I think we can do this and make it worse." And they did. And I'm not mad, in fact, I'm even flattered. However, I think it's time I negotiate 30% equity in all of BuzzFeed. It seems only fair. However, I would be up to haggle down to 25%. That's really pushing it. I'm not known on Shark Tank for my leniency, so you'd have a really hard time getting me down to 25%. But yeah, I expect you, BuzzFeed, to address this issue and grant me 25 to 30% stake in your company. I'll be waiting.
What? You're fine.
I'm supposed to tell you what's in my $5 build your own cravings box. But you already know what you want from Taco Bell. You always have. Just don't eat like me. Eat like you.
Forget everything you think you know about shitty shows. I'm about to introduce you to something that'll open your third eye. You'll achieve enlightenment and I'll reveal the truth behind the word shit. Big Bang Theory? That looks like a masterpiece in comparison to what I'm about to show you here. This is a hospital show that is entirely composed of TikTok stars acting alongside some people that they found on Fiverr. It's called Attaway General. I'm always blown away by how talentless TikTok stars are, and this sets a whole new level that I didn't even think was achievable. This is like quantum talentlessness. It's fucking crazy to me how bad this show is. I've only watched one episode because I don't want to spoil myself. I'm not just going to binge on it and then run out of Attaway General while people are at least like fucking scratching at my neck like a meth addict waiting for my next fix of the Attaway General show. So I've only seen one episode, and I'd like to go over it with all of you here because it really is something special.
Today's premiere of Attaway General is brought to you by Just Dance 2020. The game is honestly so much fun, and I can't wait to play with my entire family.
Nothing says quality quite like the opening seconds being dedicated to an ad. I've never played Just Dance. Maybe it is a game that I'd enjoy too and want to play with my entire family. Just fucking boogie down, cut the rug, and get wild on some Just Dance. Just on the surface, Fortnite might seem like an innocent game for children to play and enjoy, and adult douchebag YouTubers to peddle their creator code to exploit children's parents' credit cards. But what if I told you it's actually much darker than that? What if Fortnite was actually haunted? The YouTube community has really put an interesting spin on Fortnite, and I've looked at a lot of their content. There's a lot of top 5 scariest Fortnite moments, scary Fortnite stories and myths, and for now, I think Fortnite should be up there with the greats like the Conjuring universe, the Shining. The Fortnite kind of blows them all out of the fucking water thanks to YouTubers. Let's just go ahead and dive in here with some of the scariest Fortnite moments.
Number eclipse. It doesn't seem like anything is going on at first. There's just a default skin in Retail Rose scoping in on random buildings with the heavy stuff, jump scaring him, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers as well.
No doubt you soiled your diaper after that one. I'm not gonna lie to you, that shit almost made me shit my pants as well. That would terrify even the most seasoned of war veterans. That is just genuinely unnerving, and that's not even in the top 3 on this top 5 terrifying Fortnite moments compilation. Let's see what comes next. I can't even imagine.
But not completely sure, so feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
He's scared.
luck sleeping tonight after seeing that. That shit's gonna give me wet nightmares for at least a week. One thing I really like about Skydiverge's channel here is he'll spend upwards of 2 minutes describing what the clip he's about to show has in a scene-by-scene breakdown, adding nothing to it. Just very matter-of-fact, blankly and boringly telling you what you're about to see. And he does it all while sounding like the Burger King foot lettuce guy if he was fucked by Leafy is here, because all he does is surf around in these Fortnite maps doing scary Fortnite compilations. It's just, it's awful. And he's very blatantly just padding for time by describing the clip he's gonna show you. And he has the audacity, the fucking shamelessness to put a paid promotion in the middle of every video where he promotes a Fortnite scam website.
To this clip, I want to tell you guys about a very cheap, iconic bundle service, which is very safe and verified to be legit by a lot of pro players. This site is ran by Dan Mods, and many pro players have used this service.
And as you'd expect, he also has his own Fortnite creator code that he's constantly begging people to use, just fisting their ass with that every fucking 10 seconds. But let me just say, the clips are terrifying, no doubt, but most of the scariness of the Fortnite horror community content doesn't come from the clips themselves. It comes from the shamelessness and how low the creators will sink to just squeeze every last dime from the children that watch them. Well, it's not their money, their parents' money. It's absolutely nuts how greedy the community is. It's just so predatory. Now, I got a little sidetracked. Let's go back to getting super duper scared. Go ahead and grab a tit to suckle on. Get your mommy in here, because it's about to get real fucking scary. We're going to need some comfort food.
Going to be able to tell, he gets really freaked out and eventually just ends his stream because he's so scared.
Or I'm doing it, you haven't already dropped a sub. I would greatly appreciate that. Okay, I need to not fall this way. Oh! I'm sorry, this is a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. I don't know, go raid Skilled Apple, go... I'm going home. Yeah, this isn't even a Fortnite clip. I don't know why this is here, Sky. I understand the clip is shit your pants scary, no doubt about that, but your title is about Fortnite scary shit, not just scary shit in general. That's actually illegal, Sky. You could be sent to jail for that, thrown in the slammer for saying something's Fortnite when it's not Fortnite. Like, what else are you gonna do? You're gonna put, like, a fucking beheading video in your next Fortnite scary moments? And you can't do that, you know, because the beheading isn't a Fortnite-related moment. It's disgusting. And I don't like what you've done here by lying to me like this, Sky.
Special video. In this video, he was messing around trying to do a backflip off some plastic chair, which isn't a very smart idea, because those type of chairs are cheap and unstable. Well, he hopped right on the chair to do a backflip. Alright. Hang on.
Yo, bro, you good? You good, dude? Are you good? Yo, hold up. Are you good, dude? You need help?
I understand that was disturbing to watch, and it was very hard to look at, but I am happy to say he not only survived this traumatic experience, he has made a full recovery. Indeed, a very scary Fortnite stunt gone horribly wrong, but it luckily had a happy ending. I don't want to see any more of these crazy stunts. I can't even imagine what the other 4 people in this compilation did to get on this list. They must have fucking kick-flipped over a shark while lighting themselves on fire to top something like what we just saw there. It's fucking dangerously...
Delicious
Fortnite is a game that needs no introduction. Fortnite is perhaps one of humanity's greatest achievements. Even the Mayan calendar was often misinterpreted to predict the end of the world in 2012, but what it was actually predicting was the E3 trailer for Fortnite's announcement. Even the Mayans knew the importance Fortnite would have in the future, and not even they could have predicted just how powerful Fortnite would become. And I'm sure you've already heard the devastating news that can make the world stop rotating. Fortnite has been banned from the App Store and the Google Play Store, but no one really gives a fuck about that. I know this is a very difficult time for many of us out there, but to all the therapists out there, it's about to be a great fucking time for all the overtime pay they're about to get consoling these screeching and screaming children who now can't play Fortnite on their iOS device. Now, in light of Fortnite being banned on the App Store and Google Play Store, I'd like to come forward with an announcement as well and say that I too will be banning Fortnite from any future app distribution services I may launch. Not that I'm planning on launching any, I'm a fucking Neanderthal when it comes to technology, but should I ever create an app store of my own, Fortnite will be banned from it. Not for any reason other than it just sounds kind of fun right now, just to follow the trend. So now let's dive deeper into this massive issue that's got the world by the nutsack and has made the sun stop shining. Why is Fortnite banned from the App Store? Well, it's because Epic Games introduced a new way of buying V-Bucks that bypassed Apple's 30% cut through the App Store. This was a violation of Apple's terms in the App Store, so it was naturally banned. Now, obviously, Epic knew this was coming because I had a world by the nutsack and has made the sun stop shining. Why is Fortnite banned from the App Store? Well, it's because Epic Games introduced a new way of buying V-Bucks that bypassed Apple's 30% cut through the App Store.
Wait, what?
This was a violation of Apple's terms in the App Store, so it was naturally banned. Now, obviously, Epic knew this was coming because I had a whole marketing campaign launched behind it.
I need
they had an
Riptide.
entire little machinima
What?
suit ready, which I'll share with you now.
What? What? What the frick? Wait. Come on, hurt the skeletons, not the horses. I want to keep one.
This is like something out of Judgment Day when the humans were rising up to stop Skynet. This is very powerful stuff. Are there tears in your eyes yet? Epic Games has defied the App Store monopoly. In retaliation, Apple is blocking Fortnite from 1 billion devices. Join the fight to stop 2020 from becoming 1984. And then they add hashtag free
Oh my
Fortnite.
god.
There's actually a parody on one of Apple's older commercials where they use something very similar, talking about the fear of 1984 and monopolistic technology shit. Epic Games is doing the same thing. And people are taking sides. The war has begun. You have Apple fanatics, you have Fortnite fanatics, and both of them waging war on each other right now. I think there's nothing more pathetic than being some kind of brain-dead loyal zombie to a multi-billion-dollar corporation that actively looks for ways to squeeze every penny out of your mama's wallet. But to each their own. I mean, everyone's going to have their own favorite sport. If you want to just mindlessly cheer for a mega corporation against a mega corporation, go for it. Now, if someone put their ass to my face and threatened to fart in it if I didn't pick a side, I'd probably choose Epic in this debate here. Just because I really just fucking hate Apple. Apple can suck the dirtiest part of my butthole. Apple does a lot of terrible things, a lot of terrible practices, and to be honest, a 30% cut of purchases through the App Store is way too high. I understand that's kind of like an industry norm, but that doesn't mean it's right. 30% is just significantly higher than I think it should be. So I'd side with Epic Games here, even though Epic Games has a lot of terrible shit they do on their own. And this whole thing here is very clearly just a marketing ploy from Epic to rally against Apple, hopefully get a little more money out of it. It's just a big money play because...
Alright guys, it's an all-out war. Come on, we must fight to protect our village.
Are you fucking insane?
There we go.
When to watch Fortnite's Galactus events. It starts at, you know what, that's what we're gonna do. I have to connect my Facebook account. Why? So people can make fun of me for playing Fortnite? Oh, I'm not playing Fortnite, I'm just watching the Galactus event, whatever that consists of. The triumphant return to Fortnite, the Revolver God is back to flop his 6.5 inches of meat across all kinds of faces again, baby. We ride deep. I don't actually have to play the game to watch the event, right? I can just sit there and watch. This is supposed to be a huge Fortnite event. If I worked at like a restaurant or something...
Shut up, Max!
I'd call in sick today just so I could come home and watch this Galactus event. This is going to be big. This is going to be big. If you are a virgin before this event, you won't be after it. Galactus is coming into the Fortnite universe, stealing our V-Bucks and fucking all of our moms or something crazy. Like, I don't want to miss it. I don't think I can fight Galactus. I think I just watch him do, like, Fortnite dances or something and talk about the Travis Scott burger or whatever. I just didn't make it to the front of the line here. The Fortnite bouncers might take my lunch money and kick me to the back of the line. I hope Galactus kills Steve Jobs. Like, they dig up his corpse and start pissing on it for the Galactus event. As a big fuck you to Apple. You you want to buy an Adriana Chechik sex toy but can't decide whether to buy pussy or ass? That's gonna be personal preference, man. I will say, I don't think you're gonna be able to feel the difference in pussy or ass plastic on your dick. I think it's gonna probably feel the same. Look at him out there! Whoa! Oh wait, I had the John Wick skin. I accidentally changed it. This event better make me absolutely ejaculate in my trousers. Galactus better come into this map and actually suck the cum out of my ass. Wait, can I go in the map?
Wait, if I hit a...
Anything is possible!
If I tried it, does
Am
it make
I
a
getting anywhere?
supercharged
I feel like
creeper?
I'm not
No.
going towards the ground. No, I'm definitely not. In fact, I'm going up. I see. Okay. They fooled me. Galactus is up to his tricks again. What inspired you to do this? I actually hopped on just to hang out for a little while, and I was probably going to do a little Yakuza, and then someone asked if I was doing the Fortnite event, to which I loudly proclaimed that absolutely not. And then I looked it up and saw that it started in like 20 minutes, so I figured why not. Oh god, I feel like that's going to get my shit DMCA'd. But I can't turn off music because Galactus is obviously going to have like a WWE come out song.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take off this helmet because it's really helpful with healing, and I do not want to go like 5 hours of searching for turtles to make another one.
I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to take a chance. In order to defeat Galactus, I must hear some DMCA
which is
songs.
good because I need them, but
I don't think you're going to be missing out on anything.
God, if I was just like in a normal survival, I wouldn't want to be in my position.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Make sure you have licensed audio off so you don't get DMCA'd. I don't want to miss anything with Galactus. What if he comes out here playing licensed music? Like Prince and stuff. I don't want to miss it. You seem enthusiastic. I'm pumped as fuck. It's Galactus in Fortnite. I hope he comes in here and Gangnam Styles on us. I'm gonna go fucking wild. Yeah, Galactus. Yeehaw, baby. Oh my god, he's coming. Galactus. Ah. Don't sex Galactus at 3 a.m. I hope this is Hans Zimmer on the orchestra here leading it. Or John Williams. It sounds more like John Williams than Hans.
So now I have to think. Would I want Dragon's Breath?
For this.
And use creative mode, which might break my brain even more than it already is? Or do I just want to summon the dragon and probably die again? Hard choice. Probably just ruin my brain a little bit more.
Now there's no stopping him.
I'm fully healed. Maybe a little bit twerk.
Stan Lee actually descends from the heaven right now.
Twerk.
He gets revived in the real world thanks to the Fortnite event.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, help us, Tony Stark. Do something. He's awake. The wet dreams are over. Now it's nothing but dry nightmares. Jesus Christ. He's reading my mind. He's talking. I didn't even know Galactus knew English. Why even give us a warning? Just eat the planet, bro. I don't care if you're hungry. What the fuck does that matter to me? Damn, he's coming in with that backhand.
Oh, I want to actually, ooh, can we expand this or I can just, like, fly down? Max, shut up! My dog keeps whining.
Oh god, don't tell me I actually have to play this fucking game. I really do feel like I'm in line for like a Disney ride. No, he's pulled it. What is that? He just pulled a basketball or something. I don't want to exist in a reality where Fortnite doesn't exist.
Is that my world?
I'm saving the universe. I've got it. Don't worry, Tony. You called the right man for the job. He's not even bigger than my movie Huges. Can I fail this and get kicked out of the event? Like, if you don't kill Galactus with a battle bus, it actually burns your house down in the real world. It's Thor! Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh, this is definitely DMCA-able music right now. It's actually AC/DC. Well, oh well. We're in it now. Don't worry, I'll save the universe and then get beaten by the music industry. I can kill an eater of worlds, but I can't beat 70-year-old virgins at the goddamn music industry. Man, Galactus is a fucking idiot. Why is he just eating buses? Just clap your hands. That was easy. Good plan, Tony. We did it. Fortnite is saved. And
Oh
so
my
is my
god.
parents' marriage now. Thank you, Fortnite.
There we go. So you can do it, but it basically almost kills you. Good to know. God damn it.
Holy shit, was that it? I thought the Travis Scott concert lasted like an hour. Why was that only like 5 minutes? Jesus Christ. Alright. No, oh, whoa, actually, yeah, that was a dumb idea. Of course I don't want to exit Fortnite. We did it though! Alright, I'm gonna go...
I should put mending on this.
That's the power of the Galactus Fortnite event. It actually just destroyed Twitch. Galactus may have been defeated, but he had one last evil scheme up his sleeve. That crafty guy. How was the event? It was like actually something special. Like, that's one of those events where you'll look back on like Woodstock. Like, yeah, I'll tell my kids I was there for the Galactus event. Yeah, I was on the front lines. I defeated Galactus by feeding him my battle bus. It's just one of those things, man.
With Canva, anyone can create professional designs quickly. Start designing for free at canva.com.
Yes, we're vegan kids.
That vegan teacher's TikTok account has been shut down for apparently bullying and harassment or something. Do I know the legitimacy of these pages? No. TikTok doesn't really tell you anything. It just tells you the account's been shut down for community guidelines. To be honest, TikTok will just shut you down for anything it seems. Like, they take down my videos all the time for no reason. Like, for example, this video here, I can't play it because I love money and it will get claimed. So in this video, I was making fun of people for shoplifting and my TikTok got taken down, and the original stayed up for ages afterwards. Yeah, TikTok's terms of service are very wavy, to say the least. So will that vegan teacher get a TikTok account back? Probably, yes, I'd say so. I mean, honestly, I can't say I keep that up to date with that vegan teacher's business. You know what I mean? I got better things to do. I got many women to sleep with. Do you know what I mean? I'm a very busy man. But I know many people will be over the moon with this news that vegan teacher's been shut down. But honestly, I'm 22 years old. I don't really care that some vegan on TikTok's been shut down. If anything, I'm quite upset because the TikToks were really funny. They brought me a source of pleasure. And she's made a response video to getting shut down. So I thought we'd give it a quick watch and see what's going on. Because I want that vegan teacher back. I need my laughs. But before I get into it, like and subscribe. It's free, which means you should do it. Also, merch drop on Friday. It's going to be so awesome and epic. Only 500 of these posters will be available. How awesome is that?
Somehow, it makes you smile to know that an animal rights activist is being silent on one of the platforms. Why is that? Why does that bring you joy?
It really doesn't. I really don't care, Miss Vegan Teacher.
I know why. Because you're feeling guilty. You know you shouldn't be eating animals.
No, I don't think that's it.
If you ever think you're not powerful, think of it this way. If a group of teenage boys can gather together behind the scenes and start attacking somebody like me, an animal rights activist, or any other, because it won't be long before they come after all the other animal rights activists, then think of what that same group of kids could do if they actually fought for good.
Yeah, good luck. Imagine trying to get a group of teenage boys to do something for good. Yeah, imagine. You have to imagine it, because it wouldn't happen. Most teenage boys are just out to have a laugh before the deep abyss that is adulthood.
You see, the problem is that they're just so mixed up. They don't actually know who's good and who's evil.
You know, I don't think they think you or vegans are evil. I'm pretty sure teenage boys just quite enjoy winding you up because of cringe TikToks.
The problem with our school system is not that we are churning out people who can't read and write or are not ready for the job market. The problem with our school system is that we haven't taught kids to think and to care.
No, have you seen the videos of people asking Americans to name 5 countries outside the US, and they say something like Europe or Africa? I think the US education system needs a lot more work before they have a
loyalty badly.
degree. Imagine being told at
Loyalty,
graduation, you're not empathetic enough. You can't leave high school. Apparently she was a teacher before. I'd say bullshit. No way was this person a teacher. If she was, she got sacked. So do I think she should have been taken down for her cringe TikTok videos? Maybe, and let me tell you why. She made an account called That Holocaust Teacher. I've seen one TikTok from it. It wasn't very sensitive, to say the least. So I put money on that being the reason why she got shut down. Now, I've also found something on her YouTube channel. I can't put it into, I can't even show it because I'm genuinely worried about this video getting taken down because if it is that shocking. If you've seen this video, then you'll know what I mean. But she also uploaded a video called Don't Teach Kids to Hit Animals.
Some sort of stick here that they're supposed to hit this poor sweetheart with? Oh, why would they want to hit you?
It's a piñata. It's not a real animal. I'm beginning to believe that that vegan teacher is just a parody. Surely she must just be taking the piss. This is just like a massive troll. Like, do you remember Lil Tay? That was just like a massive troll. This must be just a similar thing. I refuse to believe this person's actually being serious.
Now, a unicorn, of course, you know, is not a really existing animal, but a horse is. That's similar. Here we have a cute, innocent pig.
Bro, that's Peppa Pig. It's like one of the most famous cartoon characters ever.
We're at a young age is that we are teaching kids that it's okay to harm animals.
It is a cartoon character.
Surely there are other games that you can play at a party that don't involve hurting animals.
It's a piñata. It's a piñata. Find something better to do. Like that. She is so lost without TikTok. Last month, the Gammons were up in arms about a very important topic, one very close to my heart. Mr. Potato Head was apparently being renamed to just Potato Head. I can't believe it! All the Keiths and Steves out there will no longer be able to play with their Mr. Potato Heads in the pub, as they'll no longer be able to relate to him as a man.
Stop with being annoying.
Many of the Gammons took to Twitter to voice their outrage about this. Like, how unemployed can you be to care? Who was actually offended by Mr. Potato Head being a male? I want names. Wife says every right they give to the woke takes away from the normal people. What? It's a children's toy. Next will be LX Potato Head, and gender-neutral kids couldn't make it up. Madness. Right, these people are insane, and I'm still calling them Mr. Potato Head. I don't care what nobody say. All right, Louis, calm down. No, I probably don't need to say this at this point, but they weren't renaming Mr. Potato Head to just Potato Head. They renamed the company from Mr. Potato Head to Potato Head. The toy is still called Mr. Potato Head. This is literally like the biggest outrage over nothing. And if you're someone that actually cared when everyone first thought they were getting like a gender-neutral rebrand or whatever, please get a job or get laid or something.
Shut the fuck up. That's why I got more money than you. That's why I got more money than you.
In news you didn't expect to hear this month, lyrical legend and my best friend Soulja Boy got into beef with WWE wrestler Randy Orton for some reason. He tweeted out rap game faker than WWE, and Randy Orton was not having that. He weren't very happy about that claim. Do you know who the fuck I am? I'll bring real to wrestling, don't play with me, Randy Orton. And Randy Orton replied with something pretty
respectful. He replied with something pretty respectful, so what does Soulja Boy reply with? If you mad because I spit facts, just say that. What you do is fake and I stand on that. What I do is real. Welcome to your world. Lol, welcome to Soulja World. So it looks like we might be getting a fight between Soulja Boy and Randy Orton, and I would love to see that. Like, I'm bored of YouTuber fights. Like, who really care if one FIFA YouTuber can beat up another FIFA YouTuber? Not me. I don't care. However, Randy Orton versus Soulja Boy, I'll be ringside at that, cheering on my best mate in the whole world. Did you know he commented low on one of my videos once, and he follows me on Twitter? Like, me and Soulja, we're pretty close. But anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it for today's video, and I hope you did enjoy. As I mentioned towards the beginning, I have...
Hey guys, I'm Lewis, and this is Blade and Soul Revolution. This game drops you right into the action from the very beginning.
I don't care.
Hello fellas, so 2020 has been a very unepic year, but we must all admit that TikTok has peaked this year. It has been unbelievable, best platform by far. So for the final video of the year, I decided to get the definitely paid workers in the Memeless sweatshop to find me some of the best TikToks of the year, and this is what they came back with. Enjoy.
I loved her.
It's just the
Why did that person, have you seen that person does that all the time now?
Yeah.
The one on the right. They makes videos pretending to be like crying all the time. It's really strange.
Was this one ironic? So I'm of the mindset that this one wasn't ironic, and he's kind of just playing it off like, oh, it was
always a joke. Yeah, I think he meant that. That's not real, surely.
No, I'm pretty sure I looked at this and it was, the audio was by him. The audio was by him. I'm telling you, this was legit. I think.
She get up and leave! That's brilliant! She gets up and leaves!
Rest in peace to Princess Diana. Rest in peace, love. Rest in peace, baby cakes. It's a real shame that you never got to see what Gangnam Style was. It's a real shame. You would have loved to know what Gangnam Style was.
That's outrageous from Isaac.
He is on the best.
He is great, but that's outrageous.
Oh, this is disgusting.
No, that's disgusting. It's not you.
That's got cheese
It's
inside.
No, that's a hot dog. Alex, you eat hot dogs. This is what you're eating. You're eating pus.
No, it's got cheese. That's got cheese inside.
No, that's a hot dog. Alex, you eat hot dogs. This is what you're eating. You're eating pus.
No, it's got cheese inside.
There's not cheese in there. There's no chance.
What's this cheese?
Who puts cheese in their sausages? American. What? So they just have the skin of sausage and then just cheese?
Type in cheese-filled hot dog right now. Say.
Yeah, no, that's got a thick layer. It's got a thick layer on it. That's a thin layer. That is the hot dog. That is the meat.
Excellent entry.
That's something. I saw something down on Tinder the other day as well.
This is a message for Anthony Joshua. Just to say thank you, big man. He's been giving my wife private boxing lessons for about 3 years now. We stopped by gym last week to thank him. And my son kept mispronouncing his name. I kept saying it's Anthony. He kept saying Daddy. So we were laughing about that, and I said my wife looked a bit uncomfortable. Not sure, but I think she was just embarrassed. Thanks again to the big man.
He's one of the most underrated TikTokers. That guy. Yeah, he's fucking great.
So I'm just walking, and then there's these girls literally illegally walking on the golf pitch. Fucking slagged.
Sorry.
I mean, they deserve it. They were illegally walking on the golf pitch.
Illegally walking on
You can't illegally walk on the golf field.
People play golf deserve it, don't they?
Why do hamburgers go to the gym? To get better buns.
I'm not allowed to say anything there, it could be horrible.
Oh, that just says 1,000 words.
I've said everything with a look.
Taking your package and there's nothing you can do about it.
I love those videos. Have you seen the pictures of people leaving the plane crashes into them?
No, it's the green screen plane. I haven't seen.
Bro, she's not holding that bitch. Yo, actually, look at the bag of
There we go.
Mate, oh, that's
Our stock is high, and so is our XP.
Yeah, they just use stock photos and put other stock photos of food over them stock photos.
It looks like a YouTube thumbnail.
You know one of the ones that's like 3 V-Bucks?
Yeah.
You just click here. It's like one of them.
That's...
Did you used to make music? I used to make music with everyone.
Yeah, I had a Michael Jackson one. That's mate. Used to come around a lot when I was a kid. That's...
Did you used to make music? I used to make music with everyone.
Yeah, I had a Michael Jackson one. That's mate. Used to come around a lot when I was a kid.
Used to play a bit of Wii Sports. I just think this is a cool TikTok. It's just a penguin just chilling, just having a play.
That's real penguin.
That is a real penguin. He's just chilling, having a...
It's not a real penguin, it's a Snapchat filter. It's a Snapchat.
No, it's not. It's a real penguin. That is a real penguin. That's not a Snapchat filter. No.
But I see.
No, it's not.
I see so many videos of that.
It's a fucking real thing. It's real.
It's not a real
20.
That's a real penguin. That is... No, I'm sorry. Comment if you think this is real or fake. This is real. I'm telling you, this is real. It's a real penguin.
No, I've literally got that filter on my phone.
I hate them people. The ones that are all penguin.
No, I've literally got that filter on my phone.
I hate them people. The ones
That's
that are...
all TikTok, and that's all what TikTok is.
Yeah, just people being like, oh, if you invested in Apple stock in like 1985, you'd be really... No shit!
Think they work smart.
If you own one Ethereum, then you'd be a millionaire by now. Yeah, that's cool, mate. That's cool. Get a job.
Finish your bit, babe.
How was my Riptide?
Try YouTube Premium on us. Style uninterrupted.
Did I not get Riptide?
Hence the name.
This video is tragic. What's the point? If it's not actually connected, which they never are, by the way, but like at least do it well timed.
That's like, this is the E-Boys channel if the E-Boys channel was a TikTok.
Are you going to take the vaccine? Are you going to take the vaccine?
Yeah, that really.
If my mum put one of them things up, I'd burn down the house.
I'd kill her. It's a bit fun. Well, if you're burning down the house,
Yeah. Let's ruin my mind one more time. I just need Riptide.
Oh, yo! George! Do you know the crazy thing about Jungle Run is? It's all those kids are still trapped in there.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Like it is. They know
They develop their own society.
They see it as them, don't they?
How's that?
Guys, I'm with a Scout icon. I'll give you a hint. Sweet chili. Panda girl!
She must hate life. Like, you can just see how much she hates life at this point.
God
No,
damn it.
There's not a day goes by where she doesn't get approached on the street and goes, oh, can you say the thing? Can you say the 5-pound chicken burger chips? That's one of my favourite TikToks of the year. It's the fucking bark.
That's not what that was. That what that was? Do you reckon Apple made it? The name of that?
No, it was like an Animoji, so you know the one.
Yeah, do you reckon Apple made the Animoji's name? That was its eventual use. Do you reckon that's why Apple put it in?
It's so good.
It's terrifying.
Why did you have to get rid of the loyalty?
They were nice.
They were $6,500 a month. I'm not paying $6,500 a month for a flat.
That's fine, but they were still nice.
They were alright, but they're about the same size as our flat right now.
Yeah,
$6,500!
Today I've had 2 pizzas in one day. Now that's what I like to call a cheeky day.
It's burnt. It's burnt.
Yeah, well, that's what you get with a Tesco pizza, but that's, you accept that, don't you? Really?
Now, let's look at the following. So, these fucking liberals are getting the best of me. Now, if you take into account the context,
I bet you used to have a furry character still on.
What the fuck?
yeah, when PewDiePie said the N-word, he was doing it just by having a heated gamer moment.
And that's true.
My favourite ones, you know the memes where it's like, oh, why we should bring back child labour is just someone like their fucking dragon.
No, it's not funny.
god. Ooh.
That's fucking brilliant, though. It is. It sounds like a church song. It practically is, really. What the fuck's saying? I don't. It's fucking brilliant, though. It is. It sounds like a church song. It practically is, really. What the fuck's saying? I don't really know what to say about that. I would rather Hannah sing that. Have you ever been in a situation like that? No.
Playing Minecraft music in church.
Garnier Homeland has something big. Yes, it's new sulfate-free remedy.
Minecraft is a wonderful game for many reasons. You have unparalleled freedom, years of incredible developmental support and attentive community management, and a wonderfully positive, though sometimes childish audience. However, the entire essence of the game is reliant on something that the Minecraft community has grown to love over the years. A constant that subtly narrates your gameplay, keeps you calm when a creeper kills you far from home, and provides the undertones that cement the heart and soul of Minecraft into each and every player. Of course, I'm talking about Minecraft's genius soundtrack, composed by German musician Daniel Rosenfeld, better known as C418. When he teamed up with Notch in the earliest days of Minecraft, he wasn't well established in the music scene. In many ways, he was still an amateur, but as Minecraft exploded, his competence was recognized. People absolutely loved what he had done to the game. However, despite the recognition that his music got and has gotten over the years, I still believe his score is grossly underrated. Without the music, Minecraft just isn't the same, which is something that can only be said about a handful of games. In fact, I believe Minecraft's music is one of the absolute best in the history of video games, rivaling even legendary titles like Tetris and Mario. And while people understand the quality, there's still a lot to be discovered beneath the surface. Like how, even after hundreds of hours, it doesn't get old, how it perfectly creates an atmosphere for a game with an ambiguous atmosphere, and how it creates more nostalgia than any soundtrack I've ever encountered. So stay tuned, because today I'm going to cover exactly why Minecraft's music is so incredible. First, let's define C418's sound. It's unmistakably unique, meaning anyone can recognize a C418 track within just the first few seconds. His songs are simple, but perfect for creating ambience. He tends to just feature a few instruments with little to no percussion, in Minecraft's case using no percussion at all. Strings or synthesizers fill in the background, bass tones fill out the lower levels, and a simple piano or similar instrument will carry the melody. Effects are used to lengthen, repeat, subtly distort, or to build ambience, but above all, C418 songs are weird, which makes them perfect for Minecraft. Hear me out. First, let's talk about Skyrim for a little bit of context. Skyrim songs make sense. They provide continuity with the era and the world in which the game takes place by using instruments that would reasonably exist within the game's world. For Skyrim, this means that the tracks are orchestral. The only exceptions are synthesizers used to provide additional ambience, but the entire soundtrack is generally sensical. The songs, while incredible and creative, are somewhat expected. I'm playing a game with swords, dragons, and magic, and the music I hear matches the environment that I expect. And this is a rule of thumb in game soundtrack creation. Music is used to emphasize unless the game is specifically built around it, and it rarely adds an additional narrative element. So, with a game like Minecraft, what would you expect to hear? There's no clear time period and doesn't necessarily seem to mirror reality, so anything goes, right? Well, given that, how would you emphasize the gameplay? I suppose it's a relaxing, creative game, so you'd probably expect a relaxing, creative soundtrack. C4 knew this, so he knew he had to create a relaxing, ambient, calming soundtrack, but he took it a step further. adding narrative undertones that really show while you play the game. The first 3 tracks he made, Minecraft, Clark, and Sweden, all fit this aesthetic that you expect the best. These tracks are named COM 1, 2, and 3 in the Minecraft filing structure, and they sound just like that. COM. I'm going to play a bit of each song just for context before we discuss.
What? Bro moment. Why did I go so high? I'm gonna use my totem of undying while I'm... And we have everything important. We have Void Pickaxe, which brings some Vietnam flashbacks, but who cares?
These songs are all a combination of piano and synthesized strings. They're simple, but some of the best on the entire soundtrack. The theme of C4's album starts to come through with these, though. Due to their simplicity, they're a perfect introduction to the theme of C4's soundtrack. Now, I'm going to get a bit more out of breath on what I'm going to keep doing throughout the video. I realize that everybody might react a little bit differently to these songs, but I'm going to tell you how I think C418 intended for these tracks to be interpreted, and how they relate to the essence of Minecraft. Anyway, these tracks for me, while calm as the name suggests, invoke a sense of melancholy. When I listen to them, I find them extremely sad, despite having neither context nor lyrics. The ambience created by the strings give a sense of loneliness, and the piano feels almost like footsteps wandering through that vast emptiness. And if you think about it, that perfectly embodies what playing Minecraft alone is like. You're in this incredible, beautiful world, but you're painfully alone. Sure, you might have villagers, maybe a cat or a dog, but without verbal NPCs or your friends, you're isolated. That's a lot of the magic of Minecraft, and it's certainly relaxing, but it's undoubtedly a bit gloomy. And because C4 wrote these tracks before multiplayer was even introduced to the game, it perfectly represents what Minecraft was like at the time. These first 3 tracks perfectly capture the spirit of what it's like to play Minecraft by yourself.
Upgrade to watch videos ad-free, offline, and in the background. Start a free trial of YouTube Premium today.
The next set of songs are titled HAL 1 through 4, but you probably know them by their names. Subwoofer Lullaby, Living Mice, Danny, and Hagstrom. These songs all have a similar vibe to each other, and are certainly different from the first triplet. Let me show you what I mean. Now, while the Calm trilogy focuses on elegance, these 4 are much more about creating an ethereal feeling. These tracks have long, stretching synthesizers with chord progressions that give a sense of space, and bouncy, plucking melodies that give a sense of weightlessness. To me, these songs represent the second world and the escape that Minecraft creates. A world that you can get lost in. A world that, though recognizable, is a beautiful break from reality. Minecraft creates a world you can sink hours into at a time without breaking immersion. When I'm playing and one of these songs come on, I can't help but feel mesmerized, almost hypnotized by the game. That being said, they're not spooky and they're not eerie at all. If anything, they're a bit sad as well, but maybe that's just because the escape is only temporary. Next up, we have 2 of the more unique tracks, known as Oxygen and Key, or Nuance 1 and 2.
Wait.
These tracks are extremely short and a bit weirder than the rest. Let me play them.
I want to Trident with Loyalty 2 to see how that is. And Loyalty 1, so let's do that real quick. Ow! Okay, yeah, there's definitely a crack in my frame.
These songs
are by far the most ambient of the bunch. They're short bursts of relatively dissonant or regular noise drenched in reverb with hints of melody just sprinkled in. These songs represent the endless nature of Minecraft. And yes, worlds can have an end in Minecraft, but the amount of worlds you can generate is limitless. The scale of Minecraft is immense, and these songs are there to represent that scale. These are certainly similar to the previous 4, the House series, but they take it a bit further. They take it into total ambience, and they really create that sense of being in a vast space. When I first played Minecraft, this was one of the biggest things that stood out to me. Every world I created felt like this new world to explore, and it felt like as much as I kept walking, I would still be seeing new things. The scale is breathtaking, and I think these tracks perfectly represent that. And though they're similar to HAL, they just take it a step further, which I think is perfectly represented by their names. They're a nuanced version of the previous set. Finally, we have the piano trilogy: Dry Hands, Wet Hands, and My Song Venus. As far as songs go, these are probably my favorite of the bunch. Here they are.
Nothing crazy, and then just, oh, now you're in fucking space. To get to my house, we're gonna have to use this one.
I wasn't smart when I was born. In fact, I was a cripple with sympathy. I couldn't walk, so I dragged myself around the forest floor, never straying far from my mother's presence. I felt at the time she never cared much for my siblings and I, mostly letting us fend for ourselves. But I realize now she kept a careful eye on us. She was cold, distant, and dumb like me, but she knew how to watch for large animals and other potential threats as my brothers and sisters and I slowly figured out how to feed ourselves. It seems cruel in retrospect, and many of my siblings died young. Life was hard.
But mending. Fine. I won't give ending. I don't care. I'm gonna go, guys. Well, I might just play off screen for a little, because actually, I'm gonna start a new creative world just for creative, and I'm just gonna play by myself. Bye, guys. Wait, oh shit, am I still recording? Jake and